Here we are going to discuss question number 1. It says the fixed cost, and the symbol for fixed cost is capital F, capital C. For the production of an electronic device is $9,500. So that cost is fixed.
So 9,053.
$9,053, sorry, $9,053. So that's a fixed cost. Whatever the company produce, they must pay that $9,053. Now, the cost to make each device is given by the variable cost, okay, in the function of Q, okay, VC of Q is 7Q. So that is supposed to be raised to the third power. So let me pause the recording to verify. So here's how it's supposed to be. The variable cost, that means the cost that varies in the function of the quantity that you have produced, is 7Q raised to the third power minus 9Q raised to the second power plus 15Q. Q stands for quantity, the amount of devices that was produced. So as you can see, that cost depends on how many devices were produced. Derive the total cost function. That's part A. And part B now says to determine the total cost for the production of 30 devices. So we need to know what is total cost function. So let me provide you information with what does total cost function mean. So the total cost function is a mathematical formula used to calculate the overall cost of producing a specific quantity of goods or services. It is represented as the sum of the total fixed cost and the total variable cost. Sum means to add. I'm going for more information with regards. The total cost or cost of Q is for quantity, is calculated using the following equation. Total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Or cost is equal to F plus V, fixed plus variable. So it goes on to say where total cost production. So these are the symbols for total cost, TC or C of Q. Q means quantity of goods produced. TFC, total fixed cost, or you can just use a capital F. Okay. Total fixed cost is expenses that do not change with the production volume, like rent or insurance. You must pay that. Okay. And I think probably a certain level salaries according to the contract. And then you have TVC or V of Q, total variable cost, expenses that fluctuate directly with the number of units produced, like raw materials and direct labor, etc. So here we have some key components. Fixed costs. These must be paid even if the production level is 0. On a graph, the fixed cost curve is a horizontal line. Variable costs, these increase as you produce more output. Depending on the production process, variable costs can be linear or non-linear. reflecting economies or diseconomies of scale. Now you have the total cost curve starts at the level of fixed costs on the vertical axis and slope upwards as output increases. And now it goes on to say how businesses use it. Companies and economists use the total cost function to determine production levels, optimize resource allocation, and establish profitable pricing strategies. By analyzing this function, businesses can derive related metrics such as average cost. Average cost. Average cost is the total cost divided by the number of units produced. It's like an average. And you have marginal cost is the additional cost incurred from producing one extra unit of output. So the marginal cost is like a rate, okay, whereby with each unit extra, by how much the cost increased. Okay, so that is like the marginal cost, is like a rate. So if every extra unit, if I have to produce one more device, by how much my cost will increase. That increase is called the marginal cost. If I have to produce another device, by how much it will increase. Another device, by how much it will increase. That's like a gradient. So the marginal cost is like a gradient, is a rate at which the cost increases with every unit extra that is produced. That marginal cost will be coming across it later down. And to explore how these concepts apply to specific business and economics models, you can read more on the, as you can see, you can use this information there to learn more about total cost. Now, let's come to our question. As you can see, the total cost is equal to the fixed cost plus the variable cost. Okay, so let's carry this information lower down.
Sorry, so the assistant is in the waiting room again.
I'm recording, right? So it said the total cost in with respect to Q, total cost of Q. Now, when you have total cost of Q, it means that after the equal sign, Q should appear in the expression after the equal sign. Okay, so that is what is meant by of Q or f of x. F of x is equal to whatever that comes after the equal sign have to have the letter x in it. So total cost of Q, whatever I write after the equal sign must have the letter Q in it. Total cost of Q is equal to the fixed cost plus the variable cost of Q. Okay. What is the fixed cost? We all know it to be 9,053. And what is the variable cost of Q? Is that entire expression right there. Okay. 7q to the third power minus 9q squared plus 15q. That whole expression there is the variable cost of Q. So that will give us the total cost function in terms of Q.
So hold on, so that is the answer then?
So as you all were observing that part A does not ask for the total cost because it did not give us the quantity. It asked for the total cost function. So what we have to end up with now is an expression to calculate total cost. In part A, we are not calculating total cost. We are deriving the function that will allow us to calculate total cost. So this is the answer for part A. Now part B now is asking, determine the total cost. So in part B now, your answer must be a number. It will be the total cost itself for the production of 30 devices. So therefore now we know the value of Q. Q is equal to 30. So what we have to do is to substitute 30 into the place of Q and calculate the total cost. So all where we have Q, we are going to put 30 because now we know Q is 30 and we're going to calculate the total cost if we are to produce 30 devices. So please take out your calculators and evaluate this. You can evaluate it piece by piece, term by term. We know what is 9,053. Calculate what is 7 times 30 cube. Calculate what is
9.
So that's supposed to be 9 times 30 squared and 50 times 30. So I'll give you all a chance to work out each term and compare your answers. So 9 times 30 cube is 189,000. 9 times 30 squared is 8,100. 50 times 30 is 450. So all we have to do is to sum this up.
190,403.
So someone has suggested 190,000.
403.
403. So please verify.
Yeah, that's what I got.
And that will be in dollars. So that's the cost for producing 30 devices.